Hey, Mister just got hired in their 40s. You're supposed to be coming into work today, correct? Why are you not at the office right now? I just took a look at your cubicle, and you're not there, nor are you in the break room. It's 30 minutes past 8 a.m. now, and you should be sitting at your desk ready to get some work done.
Is this my department manager, Hugo? Good morning. How did you end up getting my number before ever meeting me?
I asked around the office and came across someone who had your number already. Now I'll be able to get in touch with you whenever I need to. So let's get to what's happening with you.
Right now I'm talking with the CEO in his office.
You're talking to the CEO? Now tell me, how does someone your age that only just joined this company end up talking to the top dog of this company?
Wait, I was asked to come to his office by him? The CEO and I are currently talking about what happened with Robert and the work he was doing here.
Robert? What do you think you're doing calling him Robert like that?
I'm sorry. I forgot that I'm in the office now. We happen to be talking about Mr. Ming's transition out of this company from the role of vice president. That's why I'm currently in the office with him.
I think you made a very big mistake calling out the ex-vice president by his first name like that in front of me. I'm sure right now you're just trying to make up an excuse for being late to work today. And you thought that by saying you're with the CEO right now, I wouldn't bat an eye? Am I on the mark there?
No, you're not on the mark, actually. I would never try something like that, even if I was late to work today.
You come to your desk right now and see me. You're marked down as coming into work late on your first day now. Because of that, I'm going to have to keep a tighter leash on you and teach you how to be a proper employee here. I hope you're ready for that.
I was not late to work today. If you still feel as though I'm lying to you, then you can ask the CEO himself, and he'll tell you the same thing I am right now.
No matter what excuses you have for me, late means that you're late. It's your first day here, so if anything, you should have shown up 1 hour before you were expected to be here.
Coming in an hour early wouldn't be reasonable. You do understand that in this company's rules, it says that employees are to be no more than 15 minutes early to work.
I don't want to hear another word out of the mouth of a man who ended up finding a job here in their 40s about this company's rules. Are we done here? I happen to run a very tight crew here as a manager, and I have a lot of achievements under my belt to support just how important I am, which means you are not to talk back to me anymore.
Understood, Hugo. I'll be over there right away. Just give me a minute to wrap things up here.
Just give you a minute. Are you trying to piss me off now? That is not how you talk to someone that is in a far more respected position than yourself.
I'm sorry about that. Then I'll be over there as soon as I can.
I want you here right now. I will not let one of my employees slack off on the first day. Hey, do you think this is the correct way to introduce yourself to this company? You sure have not become a productive and respectable member of society, have you? You are in your 40s, yet all this time you've been doing what with yourself?
I have been doing my best to make a good first impression to everyone within this company. Could you please tell me what I've done wrong to make you think otherwise?
Huh? You should be able to understand what you've done wrong if you just thought about it.
I understand what you're thinking, but so far, I feel that I've been doing a very good job and have not done a single thing wrong yet. If you're telling me my best right now is not enough for you, then we might have to discuss things in more detail.
Just because you're asking me what you've done wrong does not mean I have to tell you. You are not in school anymore, right? Seems you're still trying to act like life is always going to be like that of a college student's.
That's not at all how I'm trying to act. I never even went to college, actually.
Huh? You've never been to college before? So you don't have a degree in anything then? Jesus. What the hell has happened to this company hiring only the best of the best in terms of office workers? You were already looking bad enough coming into this company, a middle-aged man. But now you're telling me you never went anywhere after high school?
But my ability to work well and efficiently has nothing to do with my educational background, I feel. Instead of going to college, I chose a path that would better help me increase my abilities in the world and the workplace.
Everybody says things like that. Don't think you can get any appeal by saying something like that to me. I'm going to make you cry now for acting all high and mighty there. Jesus. I want to have a look at what your parents are both like.
My parents? Never mind. Forget I ever said anything. Sorry, Hugo, for this outcome.
Alright. Since you seem to have never gained any experience at all in your life, we're going to have to start from square one in terms of teaching you. I want you in work 2 hours before you're supposed to start. Then, I'm going to have you start to clean this whole entire building for me.
What? You want me to come to the office 2 hours ahead of my shift?
What's wrong? You told me that in order to make up for never having an education, you want to work harder at becoming a more efficient member of society, correct? If that's the case, then I'm going to make you more efficient at cleaning this place from the floor to the ceiling. That way, you'll become a better employee to this company, right?
I see. Cleaning does happen to be a very important part of any company's image. It's something that everyone has to help with. And there always has to be someone taking care of that very important job.
You happen to understand things very well now. So make sure you're into work 2 hours early tomorrow. And for the time being, you're to be the last man out of this building. Understood?
The last man out?
Once everyone else that works here has gone home for the evening, then it'll be your turn to go home. You understand that? I understand you're new to this whole working thing, but don't tell me you thought you had the right to leave before everyone else does.
I see. Understood.
Also, every morning once everyone is into work, I want you to announce to all of them your appreciation for all the work they do and how much it helps you become a more useful person in this society.
What? Why do you want me doing something like that?
By doing that, you will begin to show everyone around you just how much you're growing in terms of knowledge and skill in the workplace. I'm sure you don't want to be chewed out in front of everyone all the time, right? When you make a mistake, I want you to announce it to everyone and then learn from your embarrassment.
Don't you think you're making me do a little too much there?
Making you do too much. But are you starting to feel as though you can tell your manager what to do now? There's no way a middle-aged high school graduate that only just got hired by this company can tell me what I'm doing right and wrong.
I see. Understood.
Now you better get everything done the way I want it. So, you want to keep pretending to just be an average employee to Hugo?
Yes, in order to learn more about what exactly he's up to there. And I'd like to do all of that without him thinking much of me. Of course, I'm going to be doing the job I'm in this company for, so don't worry about that.
I see. Understood. Then go right ahead and continue what you'd like to do.
By the way, sir, why have you let a man like him move so far up within the company?
It's not that I've just let him get into that position. Rather, he happens to be a very valuable asset to this company, and has done very well for the company so far.
What?
He has always put his best foot forward when working, and has never once made a mistake that has caught the attention of myself or the others above him. He has always done everything I've asked for from him, and all of those that work under him trust in his abilities. This is the first time I've ever heard anything like this about him. He's never seemed to be the kind of man that would talk to his fellow employees like that.
So, perhaps there's something going on with him that's made him behave abnormally?
Perhaps. There most likely is some reason to it, and we should find out what that is. However, there is one thing I remember about Hugo. When it came to Robert, he treated him the same way he's been treating you now. Just like you, Robert entered this company in his late 30s.
Do you have any idea why Mr. Ming ended up quitting from the company?
Yeah. He realized that he just couldn't come into the office anymore, and one day he handed in his 2 weeks. He explained all that I was expecting to hear about his leaving, but he never actually gave me a proper reason for never coming back in.
What happened there? We're really gonna have to look into that then.
There was most likely a serious problem that arose between him and Hugo that led to that ending. However, from what Hugo said to me, he did nothing wrong to Robert.
Understood. I'll have to dig into that a little bit as well. Find out what really went on there.
Or are you wanting to try so hard to find out what's wrong? You only just entered this company today.
I have to make sure problems like there were before never have a chance of coming up again. And this happens to be a very special company. I think the CEO himself should be more driven to get rid of whatever could be the problem here.
Right. You have a good point. I'm sorry for not being more outgoing regarding what you plan to do.
No worries. Now, I have to get back to work here.
All right. Good luck with the second half of your day. And good luck with Hugo.
Wait, Hugo? What exactly are you trying to do here? Coming to an event such as this wearing that kind of attire?
I'm the one wanting to ask you the questions here. What the hell do you think you're doing taking a day off already to be at this wedding when you have only worked for 1 month in the company?
I was allowed to come by the CEO, and him and I had talked about this way before I even started working for the company.
You're trying to tell me that a basic employee like yourself went and asked for a day off work before even getting hired? All right then. Well, I came here to give you a little present. You should be thankful for that. After all, this is going to be your last chance that you'll ever get of meeting with me.
What?
Are you trying to play games with me by taking a day off work for a wedding when you just joined the company as a middle-aged man? As part of letting you know that you're fired, I came here today in this funeral attire with a present for you. A little money to help pay for your occasion here.
Hugo, you're being punitively discharged from the company.
What?
I had no intentions of telling you about this today, but you've pushed me past my patience. I cannot believe that a man such as yourself would come all the way to an employee's private event such as this and try to pick on them like you have.
What are you even going on about right now? What makes you think you have the right to tell me that I'm fired? I'm sure it hurts to hear that you're being fired, but you better calm your horses over there.
My horses are calm. I was able to keep them calm all that time while working in the office with you. But now that you've come all the way to this wedding to cause a disturbance, I'm not going to deal with you anymore. So today, I'm having you fired from the company. Do you understand that?
And I'm asking, what makes you think you have the freaking right to do that to me of all people? A middle-aged nobody that never went to college and only just started working a job?
I happen to be the company's executive vice president, Hugo.
Huh?
And in order to figure out why you've been such a problem to the company, I entered the company stating that I was just a simple employee to you. Because of that, I've learned all I needed to learn about you. About your true character.
Hey. What do you think you're doing making such an absurd lie? All you're going to get from that kind of lie is more embarrassment. Is that what you want?
If you think all of this is a lie right now, then please, go ask the CEO what he has to say.
All right then, that's what I'll do. Mr. Marcus, I have something I'd like to talk about regarding one of my employees from my department, Calvin. He started going on about how he's the executive vice president for the company now. I understand that currently the seat of vice president is open and awaiting someone to move into that position. But there is no way that man is the new vice president for the company, correct? It's probably best that he talk to you about all of this first. Well, he's right. Just as he's told you, Calvin is the current executive vice president of the company. He happens to be very well respected by previous companies he's worked for. It has many achievements in improving such. I'd say he's one of the most important assets to this company now. What? He happened to have something in mind that he wanted to do before being formally recognized as vice president. He said he wanted to enter your department as your average office worker. What? Could you hold on for just 1 minute? Are you being serious right now? Is that guy really the current vice president now? That's what I've been saying. And he entered your department in order to figure out what you're up to. Now listen here, Hugo. I've heard that you've come to this wedding today. This is a weekday, if I'm not mistaken. It is an hour and a half past 8 a.m. now. You were here and not in the office getting work done? What the hell is going on with that? What? No, wait. I'm on my break right now, and I thought it would be a great idea to come to the wedding and hand him this present for me. And I was planning to let you know about that the moment I got back into the office. Present? From what I was told, you came in funeral attire, claiming to want to hand Calvin money to pay for some of the expenses. I saw you myself as you walked into the wedding. What? So you're at this wedding right now? Well, of course I am. This is the wedding of my vice president, after all. And he was telling me that once his wedding was finished and he had some time on his hands, he'd come into the office for a bit. But I told him there was no need for that and that I'd come and see him here. Is that so? But as for myself, I have contributed a great amount to the company. You yourself must be aware of that, right, Mr. Marcus? You make a great point. You are one valuable man to the company. And for a long time, I had entrusted a lot to you. But I'm no longer able to overlook the things you've been up to while working for me. This is no longer about how well you've done in the company and all the achievements you have. What I've been up to? What are you talking about? What have I been up to at work? I haven't been causing any problems for the company whatsoever. You have come to one of your subordinates' weddings in funeral attire, bringing money to hand over to him as a gift that he can use to pay for what you're trying to make sound like a funeral. And from what I've heard, you took that money that was a gift for him and scattered it all over the ground in front of some of his family members. And you think you haven't caused any problems for the company? No, wait, that was, I'd assumed that Calvin wasn't taking his job seriously at the time. I happen to always think about the company before anything else, and what I thought he was doing angered me. But I know better now. That's not all, though. I'm sure you have some memory of what I'm going to talk about next. You made a massive mistake thinking you could keep that under wraps for so long. Wait, I don't remember much. The wedding is starting now, so I'm going. When you get back to the office, I want you to prepare yourself for the inevitable termination you face. Understood? No way. Hold on a second, Mr. Marcus. Calvin? I'm so very sorry for what happened yesterday. I was only thinking about the company at the time, and it made me very upset the way you handled things. Hence what happened yesterday.
And you should be apologizing for what you've done today. But that's not all. The number one issue you're facing here is the way you've been handling things in the office. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
What? All I've been doing is working my hardest to make sure work gets done right. I'm sure I can be very strict at times, but this is all for the company.
So, what you're saying is that having me stand in front of everyone today to tell them how thankful I am for everything they do, and then digging into me with hurtful comments is all for the company?
Wait. Those weren't meant to be hurtful comments. They were to help you with your job.
And what about having me come into work 2 hours early to clean the whole office building, and then having me stay until the last person had left the office? Tell me how any of that was for the sake of the company.
Because, as a new employee to the company, you should be forced to do things like that.
And was staying at work with me all the way past the time the buses stopped going around so that I wouldn't be able to get home besides on foot for the sake of the company as well? I'll have you know that to me, all of that looked like a perfect example of workplace harassment.
Well, that was...
That was what, Hugo?
Um...
And in order to make sure nobody would find what you were doing wrong, you made sure to treat everyone around the office for never reporting you? Hugo, for some odd reason, it appears to me that you have a deep hatred of me. Could this have anything to do with when Robert quit his position as the vice president of the company last month?
Robert, He left the company out of his own will, and there was no other reason for it. And honestly, I don't even remember that much about him besides that.
Is that right? But the reason you had ever became a manager in the first place for that department is because you stole his idea and used it in a presentation, right?
What?
I have looked into all of that already. I also happen to know that you only ever mistreated Robert in the office, while being kind and happy with all the rest of the department. This was, of course, before he was promoted to vice president for that short period of time. You are very much aware of that as well, right? I would like you to explain all that to me.
You don't have any evidence of me ever stealing his idea from him for that presentation. Show me the proof right now. You need to cut it with these games you're trying to play right now. You think you can talk to me like that? All because you're the vice president of this company?
Then, allow me to send you the evidence. This happens to be the information and plans you stole from Robert and labeled as your own. From what I can see here, the name on all these documents is Robert's, yet everything else seems to be labeled as yours in the files. But, for some reason, these all seem to have been uploaded under his account details, as though he was planning on using all this information he had in the meeting.
This is all just a load of bullcrap. You went and messed with all these files and made them look as though they were his.
There are other employees who beg to differ. Those that had been talking with Robert when he was writing all these documents up, as well as who went to him specifically for input based on the information he was working on. Hugo, we have all the evidence we need. I understand that you have forced a lot of your subordinates to stay quiet about all of this, but you're not going to get by the one person who was put in your department to expose you. How about you start talking the truth with me?
At that point in time, I took some of the information he was working on. Before that planning meeting, I still didn't have any ideas for the company and was panicking, so that led to... But at the time, I didn't know any of those documents were his. I'm serious.
Hugo, how much further are you going to push this lie for? I don't have all day to tell you the truth about what happened during the events surrounding you. When I took a look at the printing information regarding all those documents, they were never once printed using any of the company printers.
What?
The only thing that happened to all those documents is that they went from being Word files to becoming PDF files. How did you ever just pick up the information and documents that were only ever on his work laptop?
No. But...
Ever since he had entered the company as a man in his late 30s, you had something against him. For the time that he was in the company, he had gathered quite a lot of interest from people like the CEO and other higher-ups. He may have joined the company in his 30s, and he never went to college, but he had the skills to get the job done even better than most others. And that's one of the reasons he was promoted to vice president for that short time. You never liked the fact that he was favored, did you? And that's why I believe you were treating him with the same way you are with me now, because both Robert and I came into this company the same way.
That guy, he was tricky. He never had a good education, yet he acted like he was the best. I was the one that made him into the man he was before he quit. He should have been thanking me for all the hard work I put into him.
So, with that reasoning in mind, you stole his information that he had made up, and then after being promoted for that, you picked on him even more, to the point that even after being put into a higher position than you, he couldn't stand your harassment?
Shut the hell up. What the hell do you know about what happened?
Do you have any idea how Robert is doing right now?
What?
Robert had to live with having that information of his stolen, his spotlight crushed, and then when he went to tell his manager at the time, the man just laughed at him and sent him out. From there on, many other employees started to call him a liar and were against the choice to make him a vice president. After being promoted and still finding no peace from you, he left the company, and since then has locked himself inside his own home.
What?
He had never went to college or anything like that, but because he wanted to improve his skills in the working world, and after he had done so well for himself and been hired by this company, he thought he had finally made it. But after putting in all he could for the company's sake, he was crushed by you over and over again, before being stabbed in the back by you and left looking like the idiot. Do you have any idea how horrible he must feel now? If you just had a little bit of heart in you, you'd be able to understand.
What? What is it with you? Who the hell do you think you are?
I'm Robert's best friend. The two of us were raised in the same foster home together. Since the both of us never grew up with any parents, we worked together to show this world we could do better.
You guys have that much history together? So then you came into this company in order to get revenge?
This is not revenge. I'm just here to make sure that all of the pests are exterminated. I've never had anything against you personally.
Hey, I never knew a thing about that. I never knew that both you and Robert had such history.
Because you didn't know anything, you expect to be forgiven for being a thief? That's right. I would like to ask you to pay a settlement to Robert, out of court. Also, with the information I've learned these past few weeks, I'd like to go around telling other major companies about what's happened here.
I screwed up, okay? I really screwed up. So please leave me alone. Please.
What are you talking about, Hugo? You must understand that in this world, apologizing won't always fix everything, right?
It seems you made good work of Hugo and got rid of him. Seeing that this company is now in a better place because of that, I'm sure you're waiting to hear my thanks, right? Well, let me say thank you. And I've made sure we'll never have to hear from him again.
Thank you, Marcus. And that's good to hear.
You have really helped the company a lot this time. You're able to rid this company of corruption.
So, what do you plan to do now as a way of showing your sorrow?
What?
You might have made Robert vice president for a little bit, but you were also the one that let him face all that harassment. Had you just listened to what was going on with him from the start, he would never had to end up where he is now.
But at the time, I couldn't trust him enough because he had only just joined the company. I was saying that a man with 10 years of experience and accomplishments in the company was harassing him.
But in the end, that man who had only just joined the company was being harassed, and had to pay the price for it. So how will you be taking responsibility for your negligence?
Okay. I will make it up to Robert by paying out a settlement to him as well. I know that what I'd done was wrong. I need to atone for that now.
Good. I want you to apologize to him with all your heart. Now that we have figured that out, I'm going to get back to being the vice president of the company, and making this the kind of company I want it to be. Which means, making this company have an environment that someone like Robert would want to come back to. After that, the now unemployed Hugo went ahead and left the entire city for good without even trying to come back to the company begging for his job back. What he had done while working for the company was exposed to all those in town, and even beyond the city limits, so there was no chance of him finding a similar job to the one he had here. There was even an article made in the newspaper about the event, and although they never disclosed his name in the article, most people knew who it was talking about due to the rumors that had already spread. He ended up going back to his parents' house, because Robert, hearing about what had happened to Hugo, took the opportunity to take him to court and sue him for workplace harassment. There, Hugo was made to pay out a massive settlement to Robert, which is much more than I was asking for him to pay, but it's what Robert deserves in the end. Now that he's back at his parents' house, he has started working a part-time job in order to save up more money to help pay that settlement off. I wonder how the life he has now is treating him, when he had so much pride in being this important asset to the company where he had so many achievements. I'm sure it's just torture for him, but it's only expected to feel like torture for the amount of time he tortured Robert, and then after that, he should be warmed up to it. When it comes to Marcus, he went to Robert and apologized to him, while also handing him a check with an undisclosed amount on it as a settlement. Then, before leaving Robert's house, he asked him to please come back to his company whenever he was ready for it. A little while after that offer, Robert did end up coming back to the company, and he even went and took Hugo's position as that department's manager. Robert would also end up restructuring his department in a way that made it more open, in case incidents like what happened to himself were to happen again. This way, the proof would be right out in the open, and it would be very hard to deny the truth then. I'm so happy to see him back where he deserves to be, and I'll be staying in this company for as long as he's here, in order to protect him. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.